the merchant who owned everything except his attention. At the end of his life, the richest merchant in the city discovered something missing. He checked every inventory, every contract, every record kept across 40 years. He never found it. The strange thing was this: he could not remember when it had disappeared. 1. He owned the port. He owned the ships. He owned the newspaper that told people what to think about the ships. The bells never waited. Neither did the letters. Neither did the numbers. So eventually, neither did he. 2. He had started with nothing. A room above a fish stall. A coat missing a button. A ledger that did not balance no matter how he turned it. By 30, he owned the stall. By 40, the harbor. By 50, the routes, the risks, the losses, and the men who carried them. His name was carved into stone on 3 buildings on the main avenue. No one asked him to carve it. He did it anyway. 3, he woke before the sun. Not from discipline, from pressure. The east opened first. Prices moved without permission. A bell. A letter. A number changing somewhere he could not see. He felt it before he read it. A tightening in the chest, as if something invisible had placed a hand there. He had not named it yet. He would not name it for a long time. 4. He married. On the first night in the house, he had bought 3 floors, stone facade, a garden maintained by 8 men. She stood at the window and asked him something. "What do you see?" He looked. "The market district. Tomorrow will shift. I need to." She nodded. Years later, he would remember the window. He would not remember her face. 5. He had a son. At 7, the boy learned not to interrupt. At 9, he learned when interruption might be tolerated. At 11, he stopped trying. The merchant noticed, not when it happened, but later, the way you notice cold air from a door left open too long. He bought the boy a horse. Perfect. Expensive. The best in the province. The boy said thank you correctly. Then, after a pause, "Will you be there when I ride it?" The merchant did not answer. The answer had already been given. 6. A man came through the city once. Old. No money. Shoes that had walked a long way. He sat in the square and spoke to whoever slowed down. The merchant passed him 3 times. On the 4th pass, the man said something without being introduced. "You own a great deal." "I do." "And what do you give in return?" The merchant listed taxes, buildings, a wing of a hospital with his name above the door. The man waited. "I didn't ask what you give to the city." A pause. "I asked what you give every time the bell rings." "Something is receiving payment." "I was curious if you had ever tried to name it." The merchant walked away. For 3 days, the question followed him. On the 4th day, a number moved in the east. The question disappeared. 7. He grew old the way rich men do. Slowly, then suddenly. He hired layers, filters. Men too stand between him and the noise. It did not matter. One evening, a clerk brought him a letter. It had arrived 3 weeks earlier. The handwriting on the envelope was his son's. He did not remember seeing it. He did not remember setting it aside. He opened it. It was short. The son had moved to another city. He had not wanted to interrupt. 8. That night, he sat by the window and tried something unfamiliar. To finish a thought, not a calculation, not a projection, a thought with no destination, no use, no return. He could not do it. He searched backward, the way a man searches a coat for something misplaced. The trail ended nowhere. The thoughts had learned not to begin. 9. Near the end, he called for the inventory. It took 2 hours. Ports, ships, courts, licenses, land, insurance, stone. When the secretary finished, the room was quiet. The merchant looked at the window for a long time. Then he asked, "Was there a single uninterrupted hour?" The secretary did not understand. 1 hour, the merchant said. No bell? No letter. No number pulling at the edge of it. The secretary checked the records. There was no column for that. Then his son came. Older now, careful like his mother. They sat in silence that had taken decades to build. "I thought I was buying freedom," the merchant said. A pause. "I was spending it." The son said nothing. He had learned long ago that some words are not looking for an answer. They are receipts. 11. After his death, the inventory was published. Impressive. Everyone said so. 3 cities, a fleet, influence, stone. There was another list. No one published it. The mornings divided before they began. The meals eaten standing over a report. The sentences interrupted so many times they learned not to form. A letter from his son set aside without memory. The hour asked for on the last night not found anywhere in the records. No one stole it. He gave it away. One bell, one letter, one number at a time. Without being asked. Without knowing the price. Without a column in any ledger he ever kept. 12. You are not the merchant. Your bells have different names, but something in your life does not wait for you. And every time you answer it, something answers in return. Look at yesterday. Not what you produced, not what you completed. Find the last hour that was entirely yours. No pull. No quiet obedience to something you have never named. If you can find it, you know what you still own. If you cannot, then you already know what is in the other ledger. What did you give today that no one had to ask for?